supposed to be sitting up there. I know.
We didn't have a name.
Thanks, Garrett. Garrett. He let you take a picture of us. Come here, snap some pictures. It's got to zoom up around that.
Okay. I want to thank all of you for coming. We have a very important election coming up in May. So the first thing I want to do, Glenn Edison, would you lead us in prayer, please?
Sure.
Let us bow. Our dear God and Father in heaven, as we come to you today, we're thankful for this day you blessed us with. We're thankful for all the many blessings you bring to us each and every day. Father, as we go into this meeting, we pray that you'll be with us. Everything will be in accordance to thy will. We'll be respectful for one another and listening with each other. Be with those who are less fortunate than us, Father. Take care of the sick and the shut-in, those in the nursing homes and those who've lost loved ones. Now be with us throughout the rest of this night and keep us safe. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Jim Patterson, Veteran Service Officer for Support County. Would you lead us in our pledge?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Jeff Barger, are you in the audience?
She gonna put the timer on me too?
She will. She told me to sit here and stand beside you and hit you if you didn't.
Okay. All right. First of all, I wanted to just thank everybody for coming out. Thank the candidates, everyone for coming out. We just said the pledge allegiance to this flag, right? I mean, and that's what this is all about. This is freedom and this is democracy in action. It's getting to meet and know your candidates and getting to get a better understanding of what they are. So a couple of housekeeping items. There's a stairwell over here, and then there's stairwells back there. So if anything happens, don't go out screaming and yelling, but we can exit in a timely manner. One of the things that I kind of wanted to clear up too. I'm the 5th commissioner, District 5 commissioner. Also, I'm chairman of the Republican Party. In one of our last meetings, we had discussed getting this forum together, and we got in contact with Janice, and thank goodness, because we didn't have to put it together. Janice and the chamber kind of brought this thing together, so I want to thank the chamber for kind of pulling all this out, and Sandy was a big help in that too, in kind of getting this thing come together so that everybody has an opportunity to see their candidates. And with that, I will turn it over, and y'all won't have to listen to me no more.
He made it under time, didn't he?
Yeah, under time.
So the 4 candidates that are running for mayor are Dave Anderson, Jimmy Axmaker, Carson Camp, and Dwayne Land, and we'll hear more from them in just 1 minute. But then we have our moderator that'll be up in just a second, and that's Tom Benson, who many of you probably know. He used to be in cahoots with Jed Mescon, and they played around on Channel 3 for a long time. But what I really want you to know is he's here with his lovely bride tonight, Miss Sandy, and this is their anniversary. So thank you, Sandy, for both of you. I want to take just a minute And we have two candidates that are unopposed. They're not running for mayor, but Judy and Jeff, if you would come up and do what you gotta do.
Just show up, right?
Well, we said we could sing y'all a song, but scare everybody out. I'm Judy Lane. I am running unopposed for City Commissioner, Seat C. I've been a City Commissioner for 16 years, and I want to be a part of what I started in the first term that I ran. I want to be a part of some of the things that we should be finishing up this term. But I just want y'all to know that I'm your commissioner, and I'm here for you if you ever need anything. I'm easy to get a hold of, and I work for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Juju.
Good evening, I'm Jeff Harmon, and I thought I was running for seat C, but apparently I'm running for seat
you
D.
are on D!
Oh Lord, I have,
You got to
she just said we were unopposed and then I wasn't, now I
Y'all
am
haven't
again.
had these seats long.
Okay,
There's 4 years.
all right. I've been privileged to serve the city of Dunlap on the commission since 2009. One of the first things when I came into office, I set as a goal was livability and green spaces, and I remember saying at one of our first meetings, I would love for Harris Park to fill that whole block. And I don't know if the good Lord was listening to me. If you recall, we had a tornado that took down most of the maintenance shed, and when I see things like the stage and the park and the greenways, and then the citizens all here like you are, I'm just so thankful that we live in such a beautiful place, a place that I've called home nearly all of my life. Like Judy, it's not about us. And these four guys tonight will tell you, it's not about them. It's about you. It's about the citizens of Dunlap, us all moving forward together. Again, I'm privileged to represent you, and my phone number has been in the local book and still is for 39 years. If anybody needs to call me, just call me. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Each of you should have been given one of these little papers. If you're not, I'm going to take the liberty to tell you what it says. It says that guidelines are not rules, because if there's a rule, somebody's going to want to break it. These are guidelines. One of them is to be respectful of all candidates. That means, if you will, silence your phone. Every one of us here is a mama or a daddy, a brother or a sister, a daughter or son. And if you have to take a phone call, please step outside to do so. But if you will, silence your phones. The second thing is, it's going to be hard to hear. So if you will kind of refrain from sidebar talking, and focus on what our candidates have to say, I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. All questions have been predetermined. There was a panel of 9 people who came together and wrote the questions. There are 5 questions. Each candidate will have 3 minutes to answer the question that's asked of them. So when Tom asks question 1, and we'll start in alphabetical order. Question 1, we'll go to Jimmy, the second one, question, Carson the third, and Dwayne the fourth, and then we'll rotate through the questions so everybody has a fair opportunity. We're not taking questions from the floor. There was an hour that the candidates were downstairs for that purpose, so if you wanted to ask them anything, they were there. And then when we after the questions, the 5 questions have been answered, each candidate will have 3 minutes. I'm calling it me time. It's their 3 minutes to tell you anything they want you to know about themselves, that they maybe haven't answered in the question. So Debbie is sitting here. Would you show them your sign? Oh. So this is basically for y'all up here. because I'm not going to call any names, but there's some long-winded people, and they get started talking. Y'all know who you are. She's going to give you just a notice that you have 30 seconds. And then, when the time is up, when the 3 minutes is up, she's going to flip it and she's going to say out loud, time. The candidates may finish that one sentence, but not start another one. Are there questions about any of the guidelines? Okay. And then in their 3 minutes, they can say whatever it is they want to say. It's their time. And when we finish the questions, their 3 minutes, I'm going to ask you to quickly maybe leave the courthouse, because I know Keith doesn't want to be here till midnight locking up the door. You can go out back, you can talk all night long if you want to. But we're going to lock the courthouse pretty much when we're finished here. So at this time, Tom, thank you.
Well, as a proud Sequatchie County resident, it's an honor to serve the community in this volunteer capacity this evening. So it's a great turnout. I'm glad everybody's here. The first question for all of the candidates, starting with Mr. Anderson, why do you want to hold the position you're seeking?
Okay, first, let me thank the Chamber and Miss Sandy, the Republican Party, and you, sir, for coming out on your anniversary. Why do I want to hold the position of mayor of the city of Dunlap? I've been a public servant all my life. I've served the communities in the past 30 years as a firefighter, paramedic, up to chief officer. I've come to Dunlap. I've opened up businesses, successful businesses, Dunlap's Donuts, Backdraft's Donut Station, world famous apple fritters, pressure washing business. Got an opportunity to work for the city of Dunlap in the park department part-time, and that was really great for me. A year after I was there, the guy that hired me decided he was going back in law enforcement. I wound up being promoted to park director. In the 8 years I've worked for the city, I've seen a lot of different changes, a lot of different improvements. I feel like together, working with the great folks in the city of Dunlap and the commission that we have, that we can make some positive changes. I've also seen some things that need to be changed in the city of Dunlap. There's technology issues that we need to address internally. There's infrastructure needs that we've all seen on social media and talked about that need to be addressed and are being addressed. Don't get me wrong. Our current board is doing a jam-up job with some of the monies they have, but we need to go further. We need to address affordable housing. We need to be able to address some of these issues that folks have out there with codes, standards, and growth. And in order to do that, I think you don't need the same old, same old. I think you need the experience from somebody that has a vast majority of experience from outside the area as well as here in Dunlap. We moved to Dunlap 15 years ago because we wanted to see it remain a small town. We didn't want it to change, but change is inevitable. In order to prevent, or in order to manage that, we need to be proactive. Currently, I don't believe the city internally is as proactive as we need to be. And I believe I'm that guy, if you put me in the office, to push us into the future with technology, infrastructure, growth management, and training. I would ask for your vote. Early voting starts on the 14th, and I'd ask for your vote on the 3rd. I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Axmaker, same question. Why would you want to hold this position you're seeking?
Well, to me, it would be a chance for me to give back. Dunlap's been very good to me. It's my hometown. I want to see structured growth in this town. I'd like to bring some businesses and industries in with good paying jobs that pays good benefits, insurance. We have a lot of our residents driving to Chattanooga every morning. And they're skilled workers. If we had the right industry here and businesses, we could keep a lot of those residents here without them having to drive to Chattanooga, and it would save them time. A couple hours a day adds up over a week. I'm sure they'd rather stay here than have to drive over there. We do have a limited area of growth in our industrial park, so the jobs and industries that I would like to bring in would be choice industry. We don't want to just open our doors and say everybody come in. I want Dunlap to be open for business when I get in office, but I don't want it to be the right business. And I want to see the progress of Dunlap, and we're progressing. We've progressed a lot since I've been here, and we're going to progress some more. We need some infrastructure work. Good infrastructure will keep business and industry interested in coming over here. Without good infrastructure, you're not going to get that. And so I see where we have some needs, and we've got some things going on that will help our sewage system, which is the biggest. I would like to see broadband here in Dunlap. And we would like to have a grocery store. There's several things that would improve the lives of the people in Dunlap. And I just feel like this is the right time for me to give 4 years to the residents in the city of Dunlap to try to improve and to move forward. Thank you.
Mr. Camp, why do you want to hold the position you're seeking?
Well, I've been here all my life. I've been mayor, been commissioner, been elected constable. I live here, been involved with the park, the Cocoven Park, and I have interest in what's going on here because I live here. We have some major concerns, and my big concern right now, I think, is going to have to be addressed because it will halt any future growth of this town until the sewer system issues that are prevalent. And you can walk right down the street and see raw sewage was coming out of the ground, out of the manhole there, over on the walking track. That concerns me. That shouldn't be. It's been going on for 30 years. It was going on when I was mayor, but we were dealing with it. And for 4 years in that situation, all we did was repair 90-something broken pipes. But Dunlap sets in a situation, there's only a few hundred customers on the sewer system, but your industry requires it. And the way it's set up, it's all clay pipe. It needs to be replaced. No one's got the money to fix it. But if it had been fixed for the last 30 years, repaired, it would have got it to a point where it wouldn't be dumping raw sewage at Citizens Bank, on the sidewalk, 127, down here by the new walking track. Those are major concerns. I also have concerns about the flood that we just had up in the United States here in North Carolina and Tennessee. Dunlap was in the path of that storm. We wouldn't be talking about a mayor's race today if we had got what they got. We're in, I've got records because I'm a history person. And in 1928, we had 5 feet of water in downtown Dunlap from a cloudburst. To give you an idea how bad that was, the barn that's up there where the Hubner factory washed all the way to the front of Walmart because the railroad. Downtown Dunlap was 5 feet deep in water. That will happen here again, but we need to prepare for something like that. And the other day when we had the storms and tornado warnings and all that, people were on the internet, where do we go? We live in a trailer. I think, I've got 30 seconds. I think we need to address having a facility for storm prevention that people can go to. And the best I can tell you, we need to prepare for the inevitable that's going to happen, and that is something that has to be addressed. 30% or more of our population is low income, and I'm interested in all the things that all these candidates will be talking about.
Thank you. Mr. Land, why do you want to hold the position you're seeking?
Thank you for being here tonight, especially on your special night. And thank all of you. And I want to say the main reason that I want to be mayor is you. That's number one. I love the people. I love our city. It's unbelievable. I've had the opportunity to travel to many cities, abroad, everywhere else. But it's always just a blessing to see and look off into this valley whenever you topple the mountain. It's unbelievable. And I'm gonna go back to 2009 for a minute when you guys elected me. We were in shambles, the whole country was. But if everybody's losing their industry, then that means that we lost ours. We lost Tecumseh and Seymour Tubman. And with that said, we immediately started looking at German companies. And we got Monhummel and we got Huebner. And that replaced a lot of those jobs with higher paying jobs. But in the meanwhile, when you're starting back up, you got to build that foundation. And what we've done is we went after grants. And thankful for the chamber and thankful for Southeastern Development District, we got $13.2 million in grant money from 2011 to 2021. The state they had a meeting over here. I thought it was 12.9 million, so I forgot to write down 300,000. But it's unbelievable that our community, and they were there talking about it, we got more grant money per person than any other city around. But you've got to go after it. You've got to stay on top of it. It's just like you saw the construction out here. That was a grant from 6 years ago, 1.3 million. I got with County Executive Cartwright, I said, how do you want to do this out here? It was 100% grant to help beautify the city. But again, my love, if you know me, you know my love for this city and the people. And I will continue to do what we need to do on the right path. Thank you for being here, and I appreciate you both.
Mr. Axemaker, what experiences and skills do you bring to the position that you're seeking?
I bring management. I bring job troubleshooting. I've been in real estate for 22 years. I've handled most of my issues in my real estate. I'm a hard worker. I work well with others. I'm a team player. I'm a good listener. So I know I'll be working with other people, other commissioners. I'll be working with the Chamber of Commerce on business. I'll be working with other organizations that's involved in industry and business. And so I bring the skills of go get it. I don't have much patience for waiting for things to happen. I like to get things moving and moving fast. That's just the way I operate. I will be on the phone. I will be in travel. I will be in meetings to bring everything together that will help the lives of the residents of this town and to help the city of Dunlap. So, you know, I can be a team leader as well as a team player. But mainly, I want to be a team player with the leadership role to move things forward. And so I think I have the skills to bring all that together. And thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Camp, what experiences and skills do you bring to the position that you're seeking?
Well, I've been in this position before, so it was kind of an unusual situation when I was mayor. After I had been in office just a short time, my field superintendent resigned. The commission came to me and wanted to know what I was going to do about the field superintendent's position. And I said, I can do that position as well as the mayor. And they said, well, you're not going to get the pay. And I said, I didn't ask for the pay. And for the 3.5 more years that I was the mayor, I was also the field superintendent, and I handled the daily. I knew where every man was working. I tried to keep up with all the things that were going on. We had the sewer issues that we were working with. We were under a $30,000 fine that the previous administration left me when I walked in the door. I had a notice to attend be in a court hearing in Nashville. So I know I went out and tried to find out everything we were we're picking up our own garbage and operating our own landfill. We run in a gas system that was in some serious problems. I listened to the employees and tried to deal with those problems that we had. The water system was virtually had a 50% loss of water. They couldn't keep the tanks full. That's how bad the system was leaking. I think there were 60-something broken water lines. I got a grant, and we went out and figured out where all the water was going. It was going in individual broken pipes. We found some very unusual situations digging up lines. We found a complete roll of plastic pipe had been dug and put in a street and connected at both ends because the men were in a hurry, didn't have a knife or something, and threw it in the ground. These were issues that we found throughout the whole system, and we got the water system operating, and they were having to work overtime. They had an unbelievable amount of overtime. So I made it was efficient. We got the sewer system. We had a flood. We had a blizzard. We took care of our streets during the blizzard. It was the first time Dunlap had ever had all the streets graded before a storm and during a storm because we had snowplow equipment. They laughed at me for buying that stuff, paid $5 to the state for some surplus snowplows and some surplus trucks. My 30 seconds, but I think I can deal with the problems of Dunlap without any problem. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kemp. Mr. Land, what experiences and skills do you bring to the position that you're seeking?
Thank you. Well, in 2005, I retired from businesses. In Dunlap, a lot of you will know some of the names. I had the Little Burger Restaurant, I had Winbald Restaurant, Land's Restaurant, Land's Auto Sales. I was 50% owner of McCarver's Used Cars, Land's Properties, D&K Properties. It goes on, but I've been blessed, okay? And I feel like that I was put in this position to give back. And I can make a decision, it's just natural for me. And that's one of my blessings. Speaking is not. But I tell you, I'm gonna touch on the little tornado that come through. I asked the board to please, let's move this. We gotta remove our place for storage of all of our equipment and everything, because over at the park, you were next door to it and it looked bad. And they said, what are you gonna do? I said, well, I'll think of something. So I went after the carburetor plant of Tecumseh, 30,000 square feet. And we got $85,000 on our insurance for the building over here, the maintenance building. I called FEMA, I got $50,000 from FEMA. That's $135,000. Norman Hatfield said, how did you think to call FEMA? I said, well, they always help tornado victims. Well, they said that's all they could give us because we had insurance, but they gave us $50,000. So the taxpayers ended up owning a building worth over $1 million for $30,000. And you say, how's that possible? I think because I'm a good salesman. I'm a good salesman for our city. I'm a good salesman for going after things. I sell us. And that's what that you have to do. So we ended up $85,000 insurance, $50,000 FEMA, $30,000 in tax money. Go up there today. It's 7 acres, it's fenced, 30,000 square feet under roof, paved parking and all, and you have $30,000 of your tax money in that. That's just one of the things that happened during my 12 years. And you know, I see a lot of problems that we need fixing. But with $852,000 a year in property tax, you can't do a lot. You can do a little, but you can't do a lot. But I appreciate it, and thank you.
Mr. Anderson, same question. What experiences and skills do you bring to the position that you're seeking?
Well, we started out in 1980, 4 years in the United States Marine Corps, got promoted to E4. That's where my leadership started. I entered into the fire service at that time, and I promoted up through the ranks from volunteer firefighter, paid firefighter, driver, trainer, instructor, captain, battalion chief, chief of the assistant chief of the department in charge of building, construction, vehicles, maintenance, and oversight. Our budget at that time, when I retired in 2005, was $20 million. The city's budget, not quite half that yet today. What I bring to the table in leadership is something that the city needs just a little more of. I believe when Mayor Huth took over, he believed in the chain of command. I think the chain of command is broken. I think in the city that we don't have the chain of command and we don't follow the chain of command. When some people say, this is what I'm going to do, this is what I'm going to do, that's not how it's done. Yes, as the mayor, we're the facilitator, and yes, we can reach out to these different places for grants and funding, but in order for the city to work effectively and efficiently, a good leader needs to put people and surround people, have him surrounded by people that know what they're doing and know their job. That includes updated training, that includes respect, and that's earned from the leadership that's provided on that level. I have that experience. I will bring that experience to the city of Dunlap. We will be successful because, as we've said before, we love the city as much, if not more, than most folks. We came here. We weren't just here for the last 50 years or however long. We came here for the same reason that y'all that have been here forever love it. And that's what we want to maintain. And that's through good, positive leadership. And again, I think I bring that to the table. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Camp, rank your top 3 priorities for the city of Dunlap over the next 10 years.
Number 1, sewer system. Number 2, a facility for a fire department. I think they've already got some planning for a fire department. They've undoubtedly bought some land over there. But I think they need to figure the fire department with a provision for an emergency shelter for floods, fire, tornado. That would be number 2 because they've already got it planned. But at the same time, I'm trying to look out for the people who live here in the situation that I addressed earlier about potential for in the future for having a flood. And then number 3, I'm against taxing. I've never voted for taxes when I was mayor and when I was a commissioner. We have a very small number of people here who can't afford any more taxes. I struggle to pay taxes. I'm on Social Security. I know all about that. And I know their need. I don't, my issue is to be efficient. That's what the government's trying to do right now. I'm not a big fan of going out here, and I think they're going to be cutting a lot of funding back. I think we need to plan and spend that, wisely, spend our money, and not be waiting on the government to hand us out something that has all kinds of restrictions on it. But those are my key things that I think those 3 things that has to be done. Just be efficient with our funds, and I understand the budgets. When I was mayor, we were only being paid, I think the mayor was making in the commission $17,000 something for the mayor and commission. I don't even know what it is now. Here it's around $100,000 just for the mayor alone. So some things have increased, but I think the people got left out. So thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Lamb, same question. Rank your top 3 priorities for the city of Dunlap over the next 10 years.
Well, infrastructure is a continuing every day, every month, every year. Again, it's because we don't have the kind of money that it would take to make it 100% efficient. So, within hand in hand with that is taxes. Through my tenure of 2009 to 2021, we kept taxes at an all-time low. You can tell by your tax bill. And another thing that we did is work on sales tax. We tripled sales tax in 12 years. And that's keeping it off of the property tax. The property tax, the property owners always get the tax. So that's what. and also controlled growth. That's the main thing, and we have some plans for that. It's going to have to be done, and it can be done. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Anderson, rank your top 3 priorities for the city of Dunlap over the next 10 years.
I think all your candidates are going to be in agreement that infrastructure is probably going to be the top priority. It's always the top priority, as Dwayne had said. Included in infrastructure is water and sewer. So, and again, there's grant monies, there's fundings always available out there, but it'll always be a problem. I tell people when we talk about this sewer overage, and I don't know that maybe one candidate would disagree. This is not a Dunlap exclusive issue. When we get the amount of rain that we get, we're going to have infiltration into the system. It's going to come out somewhere. It is small town everywhere in Tennessee, and you can research that on your own to verify that. That is what it is. Doesn't mean we can't help prevent it and stop it, and we will do that. Growth management, and speaking with Executive Cartwright, we talk about some of the hot topic items that, well, it's not in the city. The air park's not in the city, so we don't have to deal with it. Well, that's not true. As soon as they're finished, they're going to want to tap into our water. So growth management needs to be in cooperation with the county. There needs to be things put in place countywide and citywide to control growth. One of the big things that we talk about, and we look at it, ad valorem dollars are not what funds the major issues in the city. That your tax dollars coming from your property taxes are not the major funding source. Okay? It's tax revenue from these small businesses that are not represented, by the way. They can't vote. And one of my priorities is get these small businesses that own businesses, brick and mortar stores in the city of Dunlap, a vote and a say in what happens in their city government. Because sales tax revenue is the #1 driver. So increase our small businesses to increase our sales tax revenue will help us tremendously. I think that's the way we need to go. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Axmaker, rank your top 3 priorities for Dunlap for the next 10 years.
There again, I'm in agreement with my candidates. I got some good answers on this, but infrastructure is one of them. Without good infrastructure, like I've said before, you can't have good business and industries. And that brings me to my second one. I want businesses and industries in here. That would help our tax base. That'd bring in more money to the city. And the third thing I would like to have that I would really want to push for, and that's for tourism. Okay? They say, well, what would be the best thing you could bring in Dunlap for our tourists? Well, I also wanted to think about that question, and I also want to think about our residents. What can we bring into this town that would really help the residents of this town have a good day? And my answer to that, if it's as any possible way at all, I would like to have an indoor water park. Like the wilderness they have at Pigeon Fords. It's about 140 miles away. If we could get something like that here, we would draw in the residents from Hamilton County, Bledsoe County, Grundy County, Marion County, and from other states, because we have Fall Creek Falls out there on Cagle Mountain in Grundy. I mean, yeah, part of Grundy, Bledsoe, sorry. And so with the Fall Creek Falls State Park, which is a pristine park, and if we had a water park here, I think that would bring in a lot of revenue that would help us solve some of our issues with our infrastructure. As it was stated, we are on a limited budget. We can only do so much. Well, we don't want to keep raising taxes and causing the hurting the people that's on structured income, like Mr. Kemp was talking about. Social Security. We have a lot of people, elderly people on Social Security, and they don't get raises every day. So to keep from having to raise taxes and sales taxes, I think a tourist draw would be a good solution to some of the problems we have. And of course, That would be infrastructure and business and tourists with that. That would be what I'd be pushing for. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Land, this is a two-part question. What role does tourism play in the city of Dunlap, and what would you do to reduce or develop tourism as an economic engine?
Tourism is a huge part. And I got these numbers from the meeting a while back, 2 or 3 months ago, the state had. Your homeowners' taxes, the tourism that we received last year saved you $92. Your taxes would have went up $92 to achieve the same thing that we got off of tourism. So with that said, we have the Sequatchie River that we need to push. We have the downtown revitalization, the walkabout we need to push. And then what you have is all the tourists coming in, they spend their money, and they leave. And I hate to use this old saying, but I like those comers and goers. You know, and some of you know what I'm talking about with your relatives. But anyway, so I look at them as relatives. We want to bring them into our town. We want to sell them lots of things, and then we want them to leave. But when they leave their tax dollars. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Anderson, same question, two-part. What role does tourism play in the city of Dunlap, and what would you do to reduce or develop tourism as an economic engine?
That is a loaded question, and the reason it's a loaded question, tourism is, I agree with Mr. Land, tourism is a driver as far as an economic force. The problem with tourism is we still underdevelop our business community. In order to draw people here, they have to come here for something. We want them to come here. I don't know if a water park is in our near future, but more small businesses, more antique shops like used to be here many years ago when we used to visit before we moved here. These small businesses, these brick and mortar businesses are what's going to drive tourism into our small city to help us with this revenue. The only way to do that is to promote these small businesses, and I think that's where we've dropped the ball. We have dropped the ball in the city of Dunlap promoting our small businesses, and we need to be all about small business and business opportunities. I'm not so much sold on industry. We bring industry in, but we have no housing for folks. So we need to address housing before we bring in big industry where we don't have the people to be able to afford to live here, but they will be if we promote small businesses. Again, tourism will come, and I think the Chamber's doing a bang-up job bringing tourism to our small town. But what do they do when they get here? What do they have to do when they get here? I think that's where we need to focus. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Oxmaker, it's a two-part question. What role does tourism play in Dunlap, and what would you do to reduce or develop tourism as an economic engine?
As I spoke last time, I'm going to push for an indoor water park. If you're going to draw people here, you need something that's going to draw them. If you want them to go in these small shops and spend money, you got to get them here for a reason besides just going in small shops and spending money. They can do that anywhere. You can go up Gatlinburg and go down there and watch the people there. And yeah, they got a lot of small shops there, but the things they have there that draws the tourists to come to go get in them stores are places like the Wilderness Water Park. It's winter and summer. And you can't beat that. It would be good for our residents. It would be good for, you know, the splash pad. We have a splash pad here, and the kids, they have a good time until they get to a certain age, and then they've outgrown it. And so with a water park indoor, that is for all ages. You can go to Pigeon Forge and go in there and just see how much business that they do. It's a draw. That's what we want. We want to draw. Now we can get the people here with that draw, but you know it's up to people that owns the shops and small businesses to draw them into their stores. We can get them here, but they got to draw them in. But we got to have a draw, and I've thought about other things, but this is the one that keeps coming to the top, and it would increase their revenue. It's just all around good thing, and So that's what I would do.
Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Camp, what role does tourism play in the city of Dunlap, and what would you do to reduce or develop tourism as an economic engine?
That's how I got involved in politics. Believe it or not, and people have heard this before, but we used to have a beautiful railroad station set right there in the middle of town. It was offered to the city and county for a sum of $1. The city and county refused that, let them destroy it. Then the railroad was offered to the city and county. The city, county, and Dunlap, Marion County went together. The governor came and gave them the money to buy the railroad, and we could have had the whole railroad for a Rails to Trails program. But the chamber, the city government at that time, the county government sent the money back. The only mayor in this valley that wanted to keep that and have the rail trail was the mayor of Jasper. So that's how I got involved in politics, because politicians destroyed a major economic engine that we could have had, which would have been tourism. I'm in tourism. I'm involved with the Cokeoven Park. We have one of the largest historic parks in Dunlap. It used to be Dunlap's garbage dump. For those of you who don't know, that were here in 1984, you wouldn't have dared had a tourist. We have right now, I have a website promoting the coke ovens. We have I had just doing articles about the coke ovens, had 8 million viewers all over the world looking at the coke ovens. Have people come from every place in the world, from Russia, from China, have been there. The very first year we opened the coke ovens from a garbage dump, we didn't have anything but a visitor's booth up there. Didn't have bathrooms or a museum. The very first year we had 10,000 people that signed the visitors register. We have a bluegrass festival every year. The people who come there are not local. We have some local, but 90% I can safely say we go out and photograph tags on the card. These are people from away from here. They come to look at something historic and enjoy the music. So I know about tourism. I was on the tourism boards. I've been to all the places. I went everywhere trying to get ideas for our museum. We have visitors. We would like to be open. We're all volunteers, unpaid. Our park is not taking city or county money. But I got involved because of tourism. I see the benefits, but not everybody saw it. Thank you.
Thank you. And our final question before we have everyone wrap up. Question number 5 is for Mr. Anderson to start. What are your thoughts on utilizing impact fees to manage structured growth in the city of Dunlap?
I love that question. I come from an area that utilized impact fees. I think impact fees are a necessity. Growth should always pay for growth. The growth should not be put on the backs of the existing taxpayers in the city of Dunlap. It just shouldn't happen. Growth always has to pay for growth. In order to do that, the city of Dunlap needs to change their charter. Now, I've heard that it was attempted many years ago. The charter change is a process. I get it. I understand it. But you have to start the process. You have to start the process, and you have to revisit a charter that's how many years old. Okay, these are living documents in the city. They need to be readdressed on a timely basis, and we need to update them. Once we update them, we can put impact fees. Again, in speaking with Executive Cartwright, I think we're kind of on the same page that we need to control. We need to figure out how to fund our future growth, and impact fees is the way to do it. There's no reason in the world why development coming in shouldn't have to pay to improve the infrastructure that they need to have their development come in here. It's easy, it's affordable, they tack it on to whatever price of their development it is, and there's no impact to us as a resident unless you're going to buy in that development, obviously. But growth should always pay for growth with impact fees. I'm a proponent of impact fees. That's one of the things I would push to get passed through our board and addressed through our legislative body when we redo our charter. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Axmaker, what are your thoughts on utilizing impact fees to manage structured growth in the city of Dunlap?
Well, I think it'd be important to do that also. We do need to pay for growth with growth. but we're going to have to attract growth to come into our place, to open up these businesses, and so I would very well push for it, and I do think we need to change some charters to make all this happen. I'm not a one-person machine here. We have the 4 commissioners in the city. We have Keith Cartwright and the commissioners of the county. We're all going to have to work together and come up with a viable solution to some of our income problems. And yes, I would like to discuss this with them and see if we can't get something going on with that. Yes, I would. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Camp, what are your thoughts on utilizing impact fees to manage structured growth in the city of Dunlap?
Well, impact fees are, I think, kind of like zoning. If you implement those impact fees, and it's like zoning, I'm not a big proponent of zoning because it's unpopular and it always turns into being political. Zoning sounds wonderful, that nobody will be allowed to build that chicken or glue factory next to your home. But in reality, when it comes down to it, it always ends up becoming something else because politics gets involved. Because somebody wants that's got pull, they're going to do it. It's just the way life is, and that's the impact fees. If they were implemented and treated fairly, yes. Dunlap zoned out areas. There's areas right now in Dunlap that don't even have city water going to them. They're paying city taxes, don't have city water. Somebody wants to ask me about it, I'll be glad to show you those people. They were promised water, but they're not. And they were areas, when they zoned these areas in the 70s, up to 1,000 feet up on the side of Fredonia and the Cumberland Plateau, they said all those areas will be served with water and sewer within 5 years. Well, this is how many years down the road? Those areas are not served, and they never will be with sewers. But we've run water lines completely out into the county, away from the city, when those communities should have been made to form their own utility district and bought water, instead of us going out and spending our resources and our manpower. Now we're going to have to maintain all these lines that are run all the way to Bledsoe County, almost to Marion County, that is not part of the city. I want to take care, if in the city, if you live in the city, you should be taken care of, not these other areas. If they want to do like Fredonia and the Kegel, have their own utility districts, they don't have to be functioning they're getting their water from Grundy County. But I see those things, impact fees, if the idea was allowed to go, but politics gets in the way and people want to ignore that does not affect all the growth in our county is not happening, I don't think, in the city. And that's because of zoning, because the county really doesn't have it. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Well, Mr. Land, what are your thoughts on utilizing impact fees to manage structured growth in the city of Dunlap?
I appreciate that question, because as I was leaving office in 20 and 21, it was something that we were looking at, and I'll give you an example. Right now, I'm in the process of building 8 homes in the $300,000 to $350,000 price range in the city limits. Okay, there's no impact fee. There's going to be more traffic on the roads. There's going to be more police needed, more fire. So I'm going to give you an example of what I had in mind. Is on a $300,000 house for the developer, there would be a 1% fee for the police and fire, which is $3,000. Okay, they bill 1% fee for infrastructure like roads and stuff. It's all categorized different, and it's another $3,000. And then for the infrastructure of sewer and water, there would be a 3%. That would be $9,000. So in essence, you're looking at $15,000 put on the new person that's moving in. There was no impact fee on any resident that's already here, only on the new people moving in. And that way, I bet, naturally, when I sell a house, I tack that on, so the new people moving in would pay that, and it would go in each bucket. Thank you.
Thank you. I want to thank all the candidates for making my job easy this evening. And I think we've had thoughtful discussion. I hope all the voters who are here this evening got a lot out of it. Each candidate will have 3 minutes to give us their final thoughts. We're going to do this alphabetically, so we'll start with you, Mr. Anderson.
Thank you. Okay, so when I started working for the city, you've heard my past experience, you've heard what I bring to the table. When I started working for the city, there's always a little saying, and as a matter of fact, when I left as the park director, it's hanging in the park office with a little, the little hook and slash to it. That's the way we've always done it, Dave. You know what? Those times are over. With me as the mayor, I'm looking to improve our ability to communicate, to train, and to implement policies and procedures that represent today, not 25 years ago. These are things that needed to be changed, that have to be changed. Okay, I'm the leader to do that. With my 35 years of leadership experience, my leadership experience inside the city of Dunlap, I will work to give all our small businesses a voice. Some people have said while on the campaign trail, gee, Dave, you're going to cut the fire department. I'm a retired firefighter, paramedic. The last thing I'm going to do is cut our fire department. Here's what I know about our fire department. As a volunteer firefighter, the #1 cost associated with fire departments when I left and retired, 80% of the cost of running the fire department, personnel. These guys do it for free. The last thing on my mind is cutting our fire department in any way, shape, or form. We have a great fire department. We have a great police department. I look forward to working with both those agencies and progressing in the future. We need to motivate our employees. We need to lead by example. We need to allow our employees to progress through the system and not beat them down and keep them down. It's almost like working in the city that I'm clawing to the top, but there's really no top. There's only 50 some employees that work here. Where are you going? 13 of those for personnel or police. So there's no clawing to the top. A good leader trains somebody to take their place every day. That's what a good leader does. And that's what we need to implement in the city. I will make the best mayor that the city of Dunlap has ever seen, and I promise you that. I thank you for your time and consideration. Please vote for Dave Anderson on May 3rd. Early voting starts on the 14th. Thank you.
Mr. Axmaker, the floor is yours.
I think that we have the most beautifulest town in the valley. I think we have the most kindest people. But we do have a big valley here. It's 65 miles long. And there's really nice people here, all in our valley. But where we live here with the Cagle Mountain backdrop and with our other mountain backdrops, it's beautiful. And I want to keep the small town atmosphere, but I do want the amenities of a modern town. And broadband would be one thing I would like to bring in, but I want to make a positive impact on Dunlap. I want, whenever 4 years is up, I want somebody to say we have moved forward in a positive way, and I would love to be able to have the chance to do that. I'm a hard worker. I don't wear a watch. You know why I don't wear a watch? Because when I went to work, when I work for myself, and I do, I don't keep up with the time. It's not the time I'm looking at. It's the progress I'm making. And that's the same effort I'd put in with Dunlap. I wouldn't be working with the clock. I'd be working with effort, trying to get everything that needs to be fixed in this town, and everything that we'd like to have in this town, so that our residents in the city can move forward in a positive way with increasing our income through tourism and other businesses and industries moving in, And that would open up opportunities for a lot of entrepreneurs here to do what they like doing and the specialized skills that they have. I just see a future that's really bright for Dunlap. And I just want to be the one to help lead it there. I want to work with the Chamber of Commerce. I want to work with Keith Cartwright and the commissioners. I want to work with the city commissioners. We're a team. We're all in this together. And everybody wants the good for Dunlap. And we're kind of like in the center of the valley. We're kind of like a draw of the valley. We have a lot of people from Marion County come here. We have a lot of people from Bledsoe County come here. We have people from Grundy County, Hamilton County. You can go in Walmart and you can drive through their parking lot. We got cars all over the Walmart parking lot from all our regional counties plus other states. So we have a good opportunity if we just move in the right direction at the right speed. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Camp, the floor is yours.
Thank you. In '89, there were 3,606 people in Dunlap. We're close to probably, if they took a census, 6,000 people in the city right now. That's quite small. A lot of these people that moved in here have come from places that were much larger and deal with problems. We have the same problems, drugs and crime and those things. They're on a smaller level. I'm a big proponent of law enforcement. So I'm a constable. I'm an unpaid constable. When you go back to I look at Walden, all the growth that's going out there, that's on the other side of the road. Their mayor, from my understanding, doesn't even get paid. I don't think the pay of a mayor, personally, I would recommend that we go back to that and not have a paid mayor. And I'm in a position running for mayor. But I don't think that's your drive to get people to run for office. You want to do something. The reason I run for mayor, constable is to offer some protection for the park. I get calls all the time. Somebody's up there at 11 o'clock at night. I go up there, the police department, I know they will back me up. They'll be there in 2 minutes. So I made a statement recently, kind of joking, that if I would become mayor, I'd give I'd change all of our police cars to Teslas, cyber trucks. They're bulletproof, and they do. Not everybody would be in favor of that, but they're expensive. I remember when we bought police cars, I bought some from the state surplus for $3,000-4,000 because we couldn't afford at that time $12,000 for a new patrol car. That's what they were costing then. Now those patrol cars are probably in Tahoe's, I don't know, probably $50,000. They're probably going to be closer to $70,000. But the things that needs to be, we need to look for people who want to make this town better. Not for money. I'm not interested in that. I live right now on less than $1,000 a month. Very few people can do that. And I appreciate the opportunity for these people to get out and vote. If you can't vote for me, vote for the one that you think will do the best job. And I normally don't ask anybody to vote for me. I never did before. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And finally, Mr. Land, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Again, I hate to keep saying it, but I want the people that do not know me to know my love for you people of Dunlap. I want you to know how much I love Dunlap. I'm 7th generation of Sequatchie County. I love this place. There's nothing like it. I'm a proven leader. 12 years. Your taxes were kept low. We grew. Your sales tax grew by 300%. That's decent in 12 years. I want to maintain the small town feeling, but you have to progress. If you do not progress, you go backwards. And I love Bible and I love Whitwell and Jasper, but we don't want to be them. At one time, we were smaller than them, and now We have things here that you don't have to cross the mountain, and that is you spend your money here. And that's about it, except I will work to get a Food City. The retired CEO of Food City hired me in 1976. And I have been in touch with him. He's retired now, but he's going to put me in touch with the right people. We do need a grocery store. Okay? And I appreciate it all. Thank you for spending time and coming out tonight. I really appreciate it. My phone number is 423-718-3435. Everyone has it. It's everywhere. Call me, text me. I'll come to your house. You don't have to come to me. I appreciate your vote. I will continue doing a good job for Dunlap. Thank you.
Again, thanks everyone for coming out tonight, and let's give all the candidates one more round of applause.
And ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for being here, being courteous. Mr. Tom, I would like to present you this. It is a tour book of the Sequatchie Valley National Scenic Byway. Thank you for giving up your anniversary evening to be here. Thank you. Special thanks to BTC Fiber and Mike with the Sequatchie Post. You can go back and watch it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Janice.
You're welcome.
Thank you.